What is your deal?
She's just over.
The Jeopardy music.
Bought the shit myself.
You think this is bad? Imagine taking me with you guys somewhere. Be like, what are we doing? What's going on? What was that?
You need to hit this vein. Calm down.
Eat this gummy. Hit this vape. Find your center.
Just gonna go for it. Climbing
That's the
the
thing.
wall, rolling in the corner.
That's the thing about the Old World Paranormal podcast. There is no center. You're either left or right.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. That's good.
Ready to go, old man?
Yeah.
So I got some stuff that we'll want to talk about before
Oh
we
Jesus Christ! Now what?
so are you ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Raise all ever be.
There's no turning back now.
We've heard those words before. They never came back.
FYI, we've been live on YouTube for the past few months. So. No, I'm not. Hi, YouTube. YouTube gets the behind the scenes as well.
Does it really? The bloopers, live action.
All right, Sean, hit record.
Yeah.
Hey, episode 109.
Yeah, I got it. Thanks, Coach. Welcome back to the Old World Paranormal Podcast, episode number 109. If you didn't catch our last episode, you should probably go give that a listen because, yeah, some bombs were dropped and the fallout is still coming. I think Nick looks a little worse for wear, so I think he's been trudging through the nuclear fallout after that. But something we needed to do. So things needed to be said, things needed to be addressed. And interestingly enough, did you see the video that just came out today, Nick?
Yes, that's one of the things I want to talk about.
Yeah. Okay.
But,
Okay. Well, we'll talk about that then. I won't spoiler alert
this
that.
last week's episode, please go back, watch episode 108, because the next couple of weeks, we're going to have some episodes that piggyback off that. At the end of the month, we already have Adam Kimmel coming on. We're going to talk about all those issues, but we're trying to work on getting Dan from the Stop Properties on as well. So look forward to that. And then obviously next week, Bump of the Night. Jesus Christ, might as well just start the party now.
Yeah, I think the Adam Kimmel show coming up here is getting a lot of traction. Seems to be a lot of interest in that. So we'll probably get canceled again for the 943rd time. But joining us online on our YouTube channel, L&M Paranormal, as always, Adam Stone. I think these people have all set a record for watching us live on YouTube. We have 5 people watching already. For our amazing guest that we have today, who happens to be in the same room as you, and if she hasn't been haunted by the items in your room yet, you're doing good. So since she's there and she's with you, why don't you introduce our guest for today?
Yeah, so I'm excited about this. We've talked about this for a while, and we finally got her here to do this episode, and she is nervous as hell.
Oh yeah. Oh
As she
totally.
should be.
She is literally wearing Depends right now because
Got a couple extra in the back pocket, so if I duck
You'll need
out.
them by the time this is over. You'll need them.
can you raise your hands a little bit? Are they?
Yeah, no, they're doing a little bit more steady Eddie, but
we have the wonderful Kara Montgomery here tonight, and this little tiny woman here is packed with power.
Aw.
She is a firecracker, a spider monkey, and she likes to play with fire.
Yes.
So don't piss her off. She'll burn your house down.
No, but I definitely will bring it.
So we're going to learn tonight a lot of things about metaphysical. We're going to learn about Reiki. We're going to learn about sound healing. And I'm going to embarrass myself because I've actually had a couple Reiki sessions done by Kara. So I will let you know my thoughts on it and how it went or myself. But this weekend we went back up to a location called Broadhead Manor. This place is one of the few places that you can go and you will get an actual true haunting. And what I'm saying by that is you'll get your interaction, but your mental state, your spiritual, your physical, everything is gonna come into play. You can get affected there by multiple entities, and at least this last trip we were with L&M Paranormal, and it seemed to go a lot better this time.
But are there demons there though? I mean,
No, unfortunately, the Llama Boys will not be able to go there because there are no demons.
I do know.
28 llamas. Lock myself in a closet for the next 20 minutes. For a
So that was-
galaxy, I'll show you my. Never mind.
So that was cool, and some things have come to light this week with some very dear friends of ours, with Blue Collar Paranormal. It's come to light that unfortunately Jada and Marshall are splitting up, getting a divorce, and which things happen, life happens. God knows you know my story and this or that. So that's not why I'm bringing this up. We have an event scheduled for May 25th with Brooke and Bree, and I'm probably gonna lean on finding a different location for now, just till the dust settles and everything clears, and whoever takes it over gets their feet back on, whatever. But my hats off, and not my hats off, but I feel for them. My heart goes out to them. I hope they get things figured out. But I did find out something interesting today, and
Dun, dun, dun.
there's a certain TikToker that's got a lot of followers, and he's very well known, Hispanic guy.
Ooh,
Found
ooh,
out today. Found out today he is implemented in an international murder case.
Whoa.
Like you thought,
like
such
committing them or
assault
what?
was bad.
Oh.
Yeah. And I don't know if a lot of people know this.
Bro creating his own hauntings or something?
He might. He might. Maybe that's why he has a lot of followers.
Okay.
So
Are we just not
yeah,
going to say
we're
the name?
gonna
or-
dive into that because look, man, you're doing some B&Es, you're doing sexual assault stuff. Like we're going after these people like crazy because we don't want these people in the paranormal community. But if you got a guy that implemented a fucking murder out here,
Should give him the axe.
I'm just saying. So we're gonna do some more digging on that.
Are we not going to name names or what?
He's a TikToker and he's Hispanic. Come on, that's all I want.
So no.
No.
I mean, I think I know, but
Well,
Okay.
you guys, everybody message Sean personally.
please don't. Please
All night.
email.
Wait till like
me.
2-3 in the morning.
Carboni. Send all your hate mail to Nick Carboni at Gmail.
All right. Anyways, that's all I got. So you ready to I don't know, make her run out of here scared or something?
I don't know. That's a lot to follow up with, with
Start
me.
the
It's
clock.
a lot of tea and
We're starting the
hotness
timer.
and dirt. I don't think I'm going to have that much entertainment back over here.
So obviously we met at the Bell, a couple vendor events, and struck up a friendship, and then found out that you do Reiki healing, and that was something that the past few years I've been very intrigued with. I know my sister; she's a Reiki master. I've had sessions done by her. I've had sessions done by a couple other people. So when we were talking the one day, you were saying you were a fire Reiki master, or Reiki healer. We'll say healer.
All right.
Obviously curiosity kills a cat. I wanted to know more. So
Yeah.
I booked a session with you, and that session was life altering.
And I kind of said it would be too. Honest to Pete. Yes.
Usui Holy Fire is the energy that I'm attuned to. And so what that means in the world of Reiki is that is just a particular source of energy that I'm attuned to, while others may be attuned to like a Reiki Roho or something along that nature. Mine is basically at a higher level of source, the highest level possible. So when it's coming through to clear all paths from you that are not meant to be with you.
Did you get that?
I did get that. And I have a question. So, what makes a Reiki master a master? And are there levels above that? Like, if you're a master, are you at the top of the food chain, or is there
Yeah.
more beyond that?
So there is, you have to go through different levels. So to become the master teacher that I am, I had to go through level 1 and 2, and then take the master class. With my particular lineage, they do require that you wait a certain time span between your level 2 to master in order to gain more knowledge with the source and to practice. So that way you're really, it's a lifestyle change. It's not something you take and you go sell it out like, snake oil in any way. You really believe in it. So they really put a procedure, so to speak, or a program in front of you that makes you wait and put time in and invest in it and really put that faith and that effort behind it. So once you get to master teacher, you are master teacher of that level, but there are other levels in which you can go into in order to learn and become master teacher there. So the Reiki Roho, you could become one doing more animals. So you become a master teacher with animal Reiki. There are many different levels and different energies, which is beautiful because it can speak to a lot of different people. It's not just a one size must fit all.
Right.
It is what's speaking to you or what aligns best with your particular energy. There's a match for you out there somewhere.
So let's just talk about the core meaning of Reiki and what that, implies being. A lot of people talk about chakras,
Right.
and you need to get yourself aligned or in tune with your chakras.
Yes.
And that's where Reiki comes into play, per se.
Yeah, it's one of the ways that you can work on chakras. Yoga, meditation, or some other ways in which you can do it. So Reiki in itself means Rei, which is the light from source. And then Ki is like your chi, your life energy. So put those together and you can literally heal yourself by bringing that energy down to you from source. We do have these beautiful chakras through our body. We have over 100 of them. 7 of them is what we basically talk about.
Right.
Individuals like me, we have open palm chakras, so that's what all the healing comes through. But yeah, the Reiki itself is meant to help to open those chakras, keep them aligned and balanced. They are needed to kind of keep you at your best being throughout life. They tell you how to respond to things. So instead of acting, you respond appropriately. How to speak your truth, how to feel confident.
Well, also it comes into play where there's certain things you're struggling with in life and you don't understand why you can't get past that hump or you can't do something. This is something that, if you open your mind to it, that this can help alleviate that.
Absolutely. So I like to say issues manifest in tissues. So if it gets through your aura spiritually, you can start feeling it inside of your body. You can have stomach pain, stomach cramps. Your back can hurt. That could be your root chakra acting up because you're not feeling safe or grounded. So it goes along hand in hand with actual medical side. So your physical body needs treated by a doctor, but your aura, your energy needs to be treated just as such and checked up on and kept in check and taken care of, because that will prevent some of those ailments and stresses from getting into your body and starting to break down your life chi itself.
Yeah, I mean, I know from experience, having these sessions done and definitely going into these as a full blown skeptic. Like, come on, man. Like these people just gonna be like, oh, and you're better.
We just
that
stand
what
there
it's
for
like?
an hour and get paid. That's
Yeah.
what we do. We just stand around, smoke a cigarette.
I mean, it's a good gig. I mean, some are like $7,500 an hour. I mean, you start popping 5 or 6 of these a day, like
Yeah.
I might quit the flooring business here and become a
Then we'd have to call you Master Nick.
Yeah.
Sensei.
You're like
master
you'd be like a Jedi Master Dick. I will destroy you.
So quickly just run through, because I didn't know this at first. I mean, people hear about the chakras, like, oh yeah, you got 7 chakras, but
Yeah.
a lot of people don't know that you do. You have like almost 100 chakras all over your body. But yes, just say, let's talk about the 7 main ones or ones. Like just run through, like this is what this means. And
We're going to start from the root to the top because the root is the one that's supposed to be awake and fires you up. So that is your root that's located in your hip area. That's responsible for keeping you safe and feeling grounded and connected to this earth. The next one is your sacral chakra. That is responsible for your creativity, your sexuality. That is located right underneath your navel. Right above your navel is your solar plexus chakra. So that's going to be in charge of your joy, your confidence. Above that is your heart chakra.
wait, one more time. Solar plex.
Solar plexus.
Your solar plex.
Uh-oh.
You're never mind. I'm not even gonna go there.
Hey, at least you didn't say anything about the sacral.
I was at first, and I'm like,
It's above the belt.
I was gonna go with the one under his belly button, but anyway, go ahead, continue.
We have your heart chakra, which is actually responsible for communicating with all your other chakras and your self-love. So not actually love you give to others, but your love for yourself. We have your throat. It's responsible for telling your truth, which Nick tells his truth well.
Wide open.
It speaks your
Uh-huh.
self. We have our third eye, which is our connection, our foresight. And then we have our crown, which is our connection to source energy, divinity, divinity. Oh my gosh, can't speak. It's connection to source, so
Yeah.
that's our basic 7.
Source, divine, God, whatever you want to, like that's your.
Yeah.
There are
Your
a
higher
lot of
power.
there are a lot of books out there. There's one, I think it's called The Power of Wisdom. And it refers to, and it dives deeper into the human body down to the tissue level, with the lungs, the airways to the brain and this or that.
Oh, yeah.
It talks about a lot about biblical stuff and the references in the Bible and what they actually mean. And also tying in the metaphysical side, they talk a lot about the chakras, what they mean. And they talk about there being different dimensions. And for you to get to that highest level, to be like God, to be in a heavenly state, to be all that, they're referring to the 7 stages of the main chakra.
That's awesome.
So I've been wanting to get my hands on this book, so maybe I'll just go find one.
Start a book club.
So
Hey, they have these great places called libraries. I bet.
I've been banned from the library. I was doing some inappropriate things in there.
I don't know. Okay. Yeah.
Copy machine. So
And all the magazines were stuck together anyway.
yeah,
Oh,
I
man.
was looking for those late 90s ones.
Back to Reiki.
Oh, okay. Oh,
But no, you're absolutely right. And Avatar is actually a really good series to watch too. The cartoon version talks about going through the chakras and what it takes to release and open them. And it's a journey. I mean, it's not easy. It really is. It's a dive into yourself. It's working through traumas. It's learning not to get triggered by
right.
things that triggered you in the past. It's a lot of work, but man, it's worth it. It is so worth it.
It is, and I think people need to understand energy,
Mhm.
understand the human body is a lot more powerful than what we think it is.
Oh, totally.
And if once you can open your mind to the possibility and like, okay, this could be the way, telling you it's worth it, people.
Totally.
It's worth it.
Totally.
Now let's talk about the fire aspect of it.
Okay.
And I know our first session was completely different from the second session.
Yes.
Because you added something in the second session. We'll get to that in a moment. But what was intriguing is I know when we first sat down, you talked a lot about what fire Reiki was and, this or that. So what's the difference between the fire Reiki session versus a atypical.
Okay. So first of all, Holy Fire was brought to light with William Rand. This was back in the late 2000s, about 2018, 2015 range. He received Holy Fire energy through a meditation session directly from Jesus himself. So that's one of his spirit guides. I love that story, guys, when I heard about it, because I'll be honest, as a kid, I had an experience myself with Jesus one-on-one, honest to Pete. So when I heard this, it really rang true to me. And basically, it was just Jesus coming to him saying, hey, man, you know, there's some things changing, energies are changing. What you're doing is great, but we have to get you kind of leveled up to this new energy to help others. This kind of falls in line with everything that's happened over the course of time, COVID, all this stuff. So throughout,
That makes sense because a lot of people say that the earth is shifting to the new earth.
Yeah.
We're leveling up a dimension. So that would go hand in hand with what a lot of people are saying, right?
absolutely. And this was all written before kind of, I want to call more our great enlightenment, right? 21, 22, you know, that's when we all really started waking up together. So this was all written down before, and through these meditations, him and Jesus coined the phrase holy fire. Now it is spelled Holy, but truly it's from the word whole, as in we all are one. We're from the same place. We're connected together. We're connected to trees. We're connected to bugs. You know, we're connected together. Everybody is from the same place, that same beautiful life energy. And then he kept coming through a couple more times and leveled up a little bit, you know, level 1, level 2, level 3. And that's because, again, he kept saying the energy is just, for lack of a better term, going crazy out there. So with Holy Fire itself, you are going into a meditation where you're really set up to have a meeting with source energy, whether you call it God, universe. It's all the same in my belief. You know, it's all the same person, creature, place. And you're setting up a meeting with that one-on-one to receive all the love from them directly. And that love bathe you and remove anything in your way from being your authentic self and feeling that authentic love from them. So that's what makes it different from some other sessions, is you have to be willing to kind of let those things go, which is really hard in itself. But if you're willing to let it go through Holy Fire, it's taken away from you. It's refreshed, recycled into that pure love and just dropped back in. Yeah.
Now, this was another thing that was interesting. Because you do believe you're more a Christian
Yeah,
based person.
absolutely.
Now, if you went to most Christian based, you know, religions or this or that, they would shun what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Now, the prototypical person that is a Reiki master, what you think of is somebody that's like a Wiccan, Wicca,
Yeah.
or somewhere along those lines, you know. But in this case with Kara, she's not. And that's the other thing I love about it, because you're taking two different things and you're meshing them together.
I just believe when I hear the stories of Jesus healing with his hands and then learning the concept of Reiki, it just rang so similar. It was so parallel. Like, why is it not possible that, and I'm not saying I'm Jesus or anything like that, but maybe he himself was a Reiki healer. He was channeling source energy down and using that to heal a person. And his ability was way greater than mine because, right, he's straight from the gate, right? He's straight from source itself, you know, versus me, I'm a little bit down the chain, right? A couple generations, right? A little bit diluted, but it's the same concept of it's opening and being a channel for that energy to move through you into that person.
Well, that, you know, if you really want to think about it in that aspect, that puts the human aspect on it, that makes sense with Jesus.
Yep.
Okay, he was gone, you know, out of the Bible stories for, you know,
I heard he was
20, 25 years.
Yeah.
A lot of people talk about he went down to Egypt.
He learned
know,
Buddhism. He learned it all.
Right. So who's to say he went and saw some type of healing master,
Mhm.
whatever you want to call it, and learned it, studied it,
Yep,
and mastered it where he could heal people,
absolutely.
and then comes back, you know, then the rest of the story is written.
Absolutely.
You know, yeah. And you're like, well, wait a minute. Well, he's channeling a source. He's channeling that energy, that healing stuff. You know, it's not like he was doing it. He was channeling it from God.
Yeah.
through him.
Yeah.
So what's the difference of any other human being from that time to now that could do that?
And a lot of my prayers at the very beginning of every session, I thank God every day for making me a better tool for him to be used and making me more hollow for him to be used through, right? Removing my ego, removing me from the sessions. Oh, I think my hands need to go here. I think I need to do this. I think that their crown is blocked and I need to go there. No, I thank him for always removing me from the situation because that's what I'm supposed to do is be completely gone and just set up that space and be a facilitator for that meeting and to help you get that energy that's going to bring you about.
You know what I'd love to do, Sean?
I have no idea, and I'm a little scared.
Me too.
I come up with ideas all the time. Why we should open a church.
Oh God, yeah.
Take me to church.
No, listen to me. You know my ideas are amazing. Shut-
Well, that's debatable. Anyway,
We open a church for Christians that are interested in mingling with energy, Reiki, like stuff like you how you are. But I'm sure there's hundreds of thousands of other people that are in the Christian faith, Catholic based, especially Catholic, holy fuck, that are interested, but they're scared to do it.
They're scared because they feel it's something that is more of that Wiccan side, and they've been taught that that is just evil no matter what. And there's so much beauty in all of that. I think it all comes from beauty in many ways, depending on your intent. But unfortunately, the society has really tried to gear us towards one way and one way only.
I don't know if it's society or like the religion.
Yeah, well,
the churches
they've
have
helped.
decided everything.
They've helped, right? Depending on what century you're in, right? That's the one that they want you to be at, right?
hey, by the way, Leah from L&M Paranormal and Adam Stone are both interested in a session when you come to Indiana in May. Our friend Cold Hawk is going back to when I said that you were going to be the master, the Jedi. Cold Hawk said your name would be Master Vader. And L&M Paranormal has a great question here. Is this something that is done in person only, or can you do it, for example, over Zoom?
Great question. Yeah, you absolutely can do distance healing. So what I do is I like to have a Zoom call with you beforehand because I like to really talk to you about where the energy comes from, the story of how Master Usui even came across it. Because I really want you to understand as you're going into it. I want to hold nothing back, full, transparency. And then I like to give you a meditation song. So I'll talk you through it and then we can shut off the system. You can actually go lay down and sleep. And then for that next hour, I will channel into you and do the Reiki session. I have a teddy bear that I use to help. No, actually it's an elephant. Okay, so it's an elephant. Her name's Ellie. I've stuck crystals inside her and everything to kind of help boost it, but I use her to kind of put my hand placements. I've even experienced a little bit of out of body before where I've gone in and I've seen the person. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is weird. Just go with it, and I've actually been able to heal them that way too. So or assist with the Reiki healing that way. So yeah, you can absolutely do this over Zoom. I won't lie. I think in person is better, only because we connect on a different level energetically. We can really feel each other and I can pick up more through the session and bring back to talk to you about.
I would agree. It would work better in person.
It works really the same. I think for me personally, I like the in-person just because I have found with me right now, I'm still growing and learning. Again, I can just bring back more of that juice for you, like what was on you, if any kind of messages came through, spirit guides, spirit animals. I've had a lot of them popping up. It's pretty cool. I get to come back with that info with you. But the distance, I feel, I don't know, I'm so zeroed in on you that I don't think I'm picking up on the outside stuff as much.
So go through. I know this was something else that's different that you do is you pick up on things. You pick up on attachments. You pick up on chords of things. You're getting messages. the night before, the day of, and it's much more than your prototypical Reiki session where you're just sitting there and they're moving energy around and trying to get you realigned. Like there's a lot more to it. And I know the first session, I was blown away by it.
Thank you.
It's
nerve wracking to say it,
Well, it's like, okay, you think about like a Dead Files episode, Amy Out at the end where she's sitting there with her clients and she's like, well, you're going to have to bring in a male shaman. Then you need to bring in a priest. Then you need to find a female medium to take care of the situation. It's kind of the same thing when like, okay, well, I need some healing. I know I need a Reiki session. So I got to go get that done. And then I got to go see Randall to get these attachments off me.
Yep.
And then I got to go do this person to do that.
Yep.
They can just go to you.
All in one, right?
And I was not expecting that, So when I had the first session done, okay, quick little backstory, and this is going to be quite funny. So my first session was literally a year ago, within a few days.
Truly, actually, yeah. Wow, I didn't realize that.
So
Happy anniversary.
yeah, you're welcome. A certain person went 3 days before me. And then once we both had it done, within that week, the following week, we called it quitsy, and the Bell Mansion for OWPS was done.
Yeah, that holy fire.
She felt so guilty for so long. It's funny. It's funny. Not really, but it is. It is now. Let's just say that it is now. It's funny now. But it's a blessing in disguise because when you're living in misery, but you're trying to make it work, then you go to get healed. And like you're literally healed. Like, okay, we're done. Cool. Like prototypically somebody breaks up, you're like, oh my God. Like, oh. That wasn't the case. We were like, we're done, cool, all right, yeah. Because you've opened up, you've fixed yourself, you're healed, your mind's thinking clearly, you're not stuck in fucking purgatory.
I will add, so he's right. I felt very, very guilty about this because again, you tell people if it's not meant to be around you, it will go away. And it was for both ends. I'm just going to call a spade, and the message I got from my spirit guides when I'm sitting out on my porch, and I'm like, holy shysta, what did I do? And they said straight up, they're like, honey, it wasn't you. You're not that special. I freaking love that, right? Smack my hand right away, put me back in my place, but basically said they had to come to you to get the healing and the strength so they could realize that this was better off for them. So I hate to, honestly, it was a beautiful thing for you guys because again, you're just beautiful people and you just need to grow. And it gave you room to grow.
Well, I talked to a lot of people about that situation, and I always said, I was like, the universe finally said, you're done. Like, you're not listening to me, that your path is done. You did what you're supposed to do. You got to move on and do other things. You only have limited time on this earth.
Right.
So you're wasting your fucking time. And, the universe said, bam. But the universe used the spider monkey. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
With my mouth
it's not her. It's not her fault. It's not her fault. But during the session, now I do obviously a lot of paranormal investigating. I was in a haunted location
Very haunted location.
24/7. So when I went there, I ended up having 4 attachments.
Yep.
And what was weird, guys, and this is why I'm telling you about to fill her book up, because you guys need to experience this, because I'm not a medium. Like, yes, I will get disembodied voices from time to time. And yes, I'll see some visions from time to time, but I'm no fucking medium. Okay. But during this session, I felt these 4 people. I knew there was 4 people. And it was like I could feel them leaving. I could feel them walking around the bed, and you're just laying there and you're kind of like in that namaste state, but you're very aware of your surroundings. So like I knew where Kara was, the whole time, but it felt like there were other people circling as well. To the point where I'm sitting there with my eyes closed, and all of a sudden, I still remember to this day, a bright light appeared, it formed a door, the door like opened, and I seen a shadow figure lean into the door like this and look at me, go back, looked at me again, and it went away. And my first thought was like, whoa, wait, no, come back. Who the hell are you? And it was a beautiful thing, and you can feel it. You can feel it immediately. Now I will tell you, you won't feel it for some days. Like you'll be like, day 3, what the fuck? Like about to call Carol, like, what did you do? What did you do? But it works. It works, and it's life changing.
Not every practitioner can kind of pull that back. It was actually during my teachings and stuff. I was with my sensei and my teacher. She's like, "You're very much a medium, aren't you? Or clairvoyant, clear audio. You're just a clair, all the clairs, checking all the boxes." And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "And you need to use this." We lost Sean. We need to use this when you're doing your Reiki sessions. And I was like, "No, that's like my version of coming out of the closet." People think I'm crazy, and I'm from a small town. People hear that,
Right.
you know what I mean? No way. But she smacked my hand and was like, "You were given a gift. You better use it, young lady." And so I do, and it scares me shitless every time I open my mouth because I'm just, and pardon my French, I definitely cussed on YouTube, but
It's definitely fucking okay.
yeah. But I mean, because you're saying things, you know what I mean? You're getting it. It's scary because there's no validation behind it until that conversation or people start opening, oh my gosh, yes, because you're really going out on a limb. And it's scary because somebody could look at you like you're freaking crazy, or, most of the time they're looking at you like, yes, oh my gosh, yes. And then you're like, okay, good, we're on a ball. The stuff I get before, I use only the highest channels, guys. So what I mean by that is I talk to my spirit guides and I say, "Hey guys, let's use the telephone game. Go to Nick's spirit guides, ask them what they want him to know and transfer it back and tell me, if he's not getting it directly, this is an opportunity for us to put that message across." So I don't work with like ghost spirits or anything like that.
Right.
The only energy I work with is the highest of highest sources, and that's spirit guides, angels.
So very, very vibrational.
Absolutely.
Spiritual.
And I'm lucky enough that when I am releasing entities and stuff off your body, if they're really nasty, I don't get to see them. I can just feel them go. But if they're not, if they're really just there with you because they want the healing too, or they liked you, I get to see them and I get to have that cute little interaction. I get to come back and tell you those stories. So it's pretty cool.
It was interesting. I remember one of them I felt like was walking away. Then the very large dog you have, Aurora, just starts barking and she like hauls towards the front door.
Yeah. They will chase them out. My dogs are great assistants. They will chase them the hell out.
But yeah, I mean, I guess backtrack a little bit before we get into the second session and what you're actually doing now, which I'm like, this is something I've been talking about for about 6 to 8 months. And then I had no idea you were doing this. So when we sat down and you started explaining to me, I was like,
homegirl's here.
I'm picking it up. But it essentially, I mean, we had talked about before we went on the show that you were on a paranormal team before.
Yep.
Why this genre? Why do you feel you had to get into Reiki or the paranormal or anything like that? Why?
So I've always had a huge calling to help people. I'm definitely a hero complex. I wanted to be a police officer. That was my first line of employment that I wanted to do. I didn't go through the school. It felt like I had too much emotion. So I thought it'd be unsafe for me to be an officer for the bad guys, only the bad guys. Otherwise, I just want to help people. And
Officer Montgomery shooting again.
It's like this, like Fort Wayne has 3 rivers, they went swimming. That's all I do. All right. They just went swimming in one of them. No, it's pretty much, I just knew I needed to help people. And I had this ability to dive into the spirit world, and through the paranormal group, I validated so much about myself, right? Again, small town kid, you know, you didn't really talk about these things unless you're at sleepovers, you know, and then it was just fun and games, right?
Sleepovers.
Right.
Ouija board?
Right, exactly. And you end up throwing that thing out in the backyard and sleeping under their parents' bed. You know, that's what happened. But overall, it's just what I was called to. I had a great session. Her name is Lindley. She is in Fort Wayne, and she had just opened my eyes to it. And I was always told by a lot of mediums and stuff that I'd seen, you need to be doing this, you need to be doing that. Julie, she is a shaman here in town. She used to open Clearwater Serenity. She used to tell me the same thing, and I was just like, no, I got to do corporate world. You know, that's how you make the change. That's how you know, that's the matrix you got to do. I just decided one day to hit eject because I wasn't fulfilling my call, honest to Pete. And so I went through with it, and I have never looked back.
You know, much like I talked about the paranormal, like eventually it pulls you in.
Yeah,
I don't think you really had a choice.
no, you know,
Eventually, universe was going to smack you in the face.
totally, it did. It totally did. It took me level 1, level 2, removed the bad guys in my life, brought me up to the, you know, the master teacher, removed some more, and it's just, it started giving me the clients, and you know, everybody started coming, and I was like, okay, bring them all. I'm here, God, I'm your tool.
I remember the first time I met you, come walking up to introduce yourself, and you were in like a fairy costume or something like that. And I thought to myself, wow, this lady is nuts.
Yes, unique, definitely.
That's a lot coming from a guy that deals with paranormal people all day. But this lady comes just bouncing over, just like, hi, I'm Karen. I'm like, I'm down.
Oh, you did. You were just like, damn. Girls on sugar. What's she on? Rick James around.
But you never judge a book by its cover, and you know, glad you came back around. And even though parts of the building did scare the shit out of you,
Hey, remember how nervous I was? God, I still. Yeah. I know this. If I am saying stay away from that area, you just stay away from the area, right? You just
Right.
don't go play there, right? It makes sense. The body says that's scary. That's probably scary.
so you'll hear me talk a lot about frequencies and vibrations, and we talk about, you know, having a bad experience versus a good experience when you're paranormal investigating this or that. Talk about raising the vibration. We've also talked a lot lately about frequency, sound, you know, sound waves. How do the spiritual world or that dimension manipulate the sound waves that comes through our devices so we can hear it like we're talking now, even though probably in that realm, energy wise, it's all telepathic.
Totally.
You know, they're not just sitting here like, hey, what's up?
Yep.
You know, so they know how to manipulate the frequencies, the sound vibrations, or however you want to say sound waves, and this or that. So it dawned on me, it's like, well, maybe we need to start shifting a lot of this equipment to manufacture something that we can manipulate those sound waves. Maybe we're on the wrong frequency when we're trying to communicate.
Totally. FM, FZ.
So when I walked in, and well, Bree went and got a session, kind of told me about it a little bit. But I walked in, you have these bowls scattered. I don't know, it's probably 7 or 8 of them.
7.
7. Okay, one for each chakra. Go
Yeah.
figure.
Go figure.
And I was thinking, all right, this is interesting because I talked to a shaman, Randall Smith, had met the bell a few times. He's working on sound frequency healing stuff.
Yeah.
And as much as Reiki is now getting, you know, not understood, but how do I want to say this? The cancer institutes and the medical field are recognizing
Totally.
Reiki as a part of healing.
Absolutely.
I see my brain's not really working.
That eclipse energy still.
Yeah. But they're recognizing it now. And I think as much as big pharma doesn't want this to happen, I think sound frequencies are going to be
Totally.
used more to heal people.
Absolutely.
So now I walk in your house expecting a fire Reiki healing session, but you threw the trump card on me and you're like, we're gonna do this. I'm like, cool.
Yeah, we're doing a hybrid session.
So explain the sound frequency healing aspect. of this.
Absolutely. So music is huge in my life. I've actually had some, paranormal experiences with it, and it's a way to get to me. I can be honest with you, like it hits my soul deeply. Certain songs, the words, the tones, and the music behind it, the beat. Hell, it's being used in movies, right? To set your energy, set how you feel. It's just something that's always used around us in ways to kind of make us feel a certain way. So it made sense to me when I started, feeling the tug into getting into sound healing. I had met this wonderful woman who did biofield tuning, which is a little bit further advanced than I am. And literally, she was telling you what kind of traumas you were suffering using a tuning fork 6 feet away from your body just by the pitch that it was making.
Interesting.
And I'm over here picking up on those different sounds as it's making it. And I'm like, that's bomb. Holy smokes, that's what that means, And so I just dove in head first, got some courses underneath my belt, got the tools. And I mean, I went like hyper fixated into this. Got some crystal bowls. The reason that I use crystal bowls versus the Tibetan metal, bowls is because they're made out of silica, which is what our cells are made out of.
Okay.
So on a level of vibrational frequencies, energy, we're utilizing something that has the same organic material as our actual cells in order to match the vibrations inside of your cells through the bowls to promote healing within those cells. People can do that through fasting. 38 hours, 46 hours, your body will start to dump cells and rebuild new ones. It kind of hurts to go without food that long. Go to a sound healing session, spend an hour with those bowls around you. You can get some of that same effect by your cells getting regenerated and healing because of the same chemical makeup, same organic matter being used to generate that frequency is already inside of you. So it's super cool. It's like on a whole nother level. My mind just went like this all over my office walls for a couple days.
Now, are there certain frequencies associated with those bowls?
Absolutely. So they're all attuned to 432 hertz, which is the main frequency. Operas are tuned to that, or were back in the day. Now they're at 440. They kind of give and take a little bit, but the main frequency you want is 432. And then each one of those are attuned to a different frequency outside of that, which is root, sacral, all the things. It's basically low to high. Pianos mimic the same. Church bells, they're called solfeggio tones. Church bells are tuned to these healing sounds. So when they're ringing out, church hymns, same thing. Recently, I think it was back in the 90s, is when they started changing our music from that 432 to that 440 hertz that we get over the radio station now. So it's not as a clean tone anymore.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about it, like you're going through something like you're having a crappy day and you put on your favorite artist of music and it instantly lifts you up. It's euphoric for you.
Yeah.
Or you want to get pumped up because you're going out that night to a concert or
Totally.
something. Like you're pre-game and you're listening to that music that you want to drive fast and punch people. Like you just want to get up.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I mean, people understand music in that aspect. So I don't understand why people wouldn't want to think about
The healing side.
the healing side of it.
I think it's just kind of scary to realize that energy or a tone can affect you that way. You know what I mean? You're a whole entity with free will. And this almost challenges that. No?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think within the next decade, there's going to be so much more to this.
Absolutely.
I think that maybe, healing cancer is an uphill.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
It's a certain sound frequency that we need to understand. And instead of that radiation, we need to be hitting it with the frequency.
What sense does it make to make your body sicker in order to heal it? What absolute sense, not to discourage or down talk, but when I'm looking at pure logic,
Right.
why make myself sicker to make myself healthier? That just makes no sense to me. Just no, back ass words, right?
Well, I just don't really trust any big corporation in America aspect of for the well-being of us humans or American people. I mean, you think about if you bought a bag of Doritos from the United States and you bought the same bag of Doritos in Europe.
Yeah.
In Europe, there's like probably 10 ingredients, but you look on the back of these Doritos that you buy in the United States, there's so many added chemicals, this or that, blah, blah, blah. So we're constantly eating
Oh yeah.
crap.
Oh yeah.
We're inhaling crap from outside,
Oh yeah.
a work environment, and then on top of stress and this or that. That was the other thing I wanted to talk about. You said something to the tissue, like healing.
Yeah. Issues manifest in tissues, man. So stress, chronic stress can
How
kill
many
you.
times you're like fucking stressed, and like your shoulders, you're like, oh my
Your back, your stomach, you're sick, you can't eat. Then you lose weight, or you're eating because you're so stressed, and then you're gaining, and now you're clogging, arteries and heart.
I just think, if you could go to a masseuse to get a massage,
Mhm.
yeah, why not try the Reiki?
Oh, totally. And it's less
Sound
touching.
frequency.
It's less touching. So if
Right.
you don't want to be touched, don't worry. I can hover.
You're not gonna get you're not gonna get violated when that person's rubbing your hamstrings and she slips and her finger goes up.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Oh no.
but
I thought that was the only reason you did it.
and then but no, it's just a lot of people ask me what the future of the paranormal is or what equipment is and what we can do to go further. And I always talk about, sound frequencies.
Totally. And your frequency.
I think, well, yeah, I mean, our frequencies are in tune with it's guys, this is a fucking rabbit. This is a fucking rabbit. I'm telling you. You talk about science, you talk about religion, you talk about this being, having faith, having this. It's all literally fucking one.
Totally. We were not put here without the tools to help us.
Right.
What person would pick children and put them out there and not give them the tools they need to take care of themselves or learn or grow?
So we have electricity in our body. We vibe on a certain frequency.
Yep.
That is scientific facts, people. This isn't Wiccan, witching, paranormal, whatever, blue smoke we want to blow up. These are scientific facts.
Yep.
Down to the magnetic pull in the earth, to universe, sound frequencies, light, like everything. We're just looking at.
Oh, dude, I would love to be hooked up while I'm doing Reiki so I can prove the vibrations there too, the frequencies coming out there. Just because you can't hear it doesn't mean there's some low, that it's the same thing. That's why it's doing the healing. That's why it helps you.
Well, think about it. We talk about even our EVP recorders, like, well, this one only, this digital recorder will only record certain frequencies.
Right.
And so we started using these old broken ones because they record at lower frequencies. Now we're like getting all these, spiritual responses. Or, oh, shit,
Right.
So
Right.
I don't know. I mean,
Well, it's sound, it's light, right? Light we can only see in certain light. That's another one too. Like the cats. What we could see like a cat could. We probably would see them all.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Even outer space makes noise.
Yep. Yes.
Even in the vast emptiness of vacuum of space, there is sound. It makes its own sound.
Which is physically impossible if you come down to physics, because there's no matter, there's nothing. So it's physically impossible for sound to exist in space, and yet it does.
Well, for sound to exist in a vacuum, yeah.
Yep. But yet it
Except
does.
my vacuum, which is really loud. It's a dust devil.
Dust devil. But no, you're
Thank you.
absolutely.
Thank you. I'll be here all week.
No, you're
Ba-dum-bum.
absolutely right. It's amazing that and people actually are more apt to try the sound healing bowls than they are the Reiki. They really are. And I think it's because to them, since they can hear it and it's just more, I don't know,
It's
less
less witchy.
yes, it's less magical, less things happening in the air. They're more likely to try it. So I'm excited to be able to offer that as an opportunity because again, it's now I can still follow my passion. You know, there's no blocks. You
And
can do
don't
both. Like with you, get the hybrid.
the bowls, don't those go back to like they're called singing bowls. Is it Chinese or Hindu or something use those consistently?
Tibetan. Yep. So the
Tibetan,
Tibetan,
yeah, the
they
monks.
did
Yep.
the metal, but it
Yeah.
wasn't until the 1990s by pure accident that they created the crystal ones.
Really?
That was through accident. Everybody was using the metal Tibetan. And then they found through science, oh my gosh, the silicone, this, and that. So yeah, we're still learning. That's how recent these crystal singing bowls are.
Interesting. Now, going from my first session to the second session, to get into the actual Reiki part. And I guess the difference for me from the first one too is I allowed you in more per se because I know we've actually know each other longer. It's not like I just come to your house and I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
session. But you kind of hold back a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
Totally.
But
It's a stranger. They're in my energy. Oh my God.
so I'm like, fuck it. I'm just gonna lay there. I'm gonna zen
I
out.
loved it. This is fat. I could tell.
I was off in like no man's land. I mean, I was,
They went bye-bye.
we started the session, and I guess kind of closed my eyes and, took some deep breaths and, to kind of get that relaxing state. I don't know. I just let you do your thing. And I was comfortable with it. I'm like, I'm just going to sit now. I'm not going to worry about anything. Just let her do her thing. Fix me up, doctor. And, but no, it was completely different this time. I did have one attachment. You said on my lower leg, a little girl. That don't shock me at all. But like I remember, it was like I kept seeing roads. I was taking roads, and eventually, like these roads like took off. And the next thing you know, I'm just chilling in the universe, just like I'm gone. And then every once in a while, I'll come back because I can feel myself about to like start snoring. Like I was gonna like literally saw some logs in Paris. So I gotta bring it back a little bit, but it was probably 4 or 5 times I probably started almost snoring. But much like the first one where I saw somebody coming out of a door,
Yeah.
like I literally saw a little gray alien.
Yep. Wah, wah, wah.
Nothing.
There are times when you say things that I'm just completely unprepared for, and I've got nothing written down as a comeback. So
Yeah.
sorry.
I just said I saw an alien in my vision. You got nothing. I just
No.
literally put it on a silver platter.
Because it really, I can't say I'm shocked.
He's officially.
Stranger things have happened.
But again, I it was just like a brief
Yeah.
second or two, but
How cool was that though?
it was cool.
Seriously.
And
It's the dimension you met, man.
we get done
Did
with
you
the
get
session,
probed?
and she's telling me things, and I'm like, I had to interrupt her. I'm like, I saw a fucking alien. She's like, what? I was like, I don't know what that means. I don't know why I got a little gray alien in my vision here, but
That's so cool.
Flashbacks to your probing incident.
Yeah.
that would make sense.
No, there is, have you ever heard of the Galactic, Council or anything of that? You may have just been, with what you do and who you are, Nick, it makes perfect sense to me that you would meet somebody from that, crew. And that could have been what that was,
Need to get with Elon Musk. He's got to get me a ship. I got things to do, Sean. I got to fix this fucking galaxy.
Next time Starlink passes, just pull out a thumb.
Get him, boys.
Every time Starlink goes past, Nick goes, ET phone home.
You fucking forgot me. No, but it was interesting, and it was neat to hear those certain frequencies in the sound, and it was soothing,
Oh, yeah.
you know. But when we got done with the session, uh, we talked about some other things, some like personal things. But I'll tell you what, excuse me, it was probably 3, 4 days after the session.
Yeah.
I remember sitting on the recliner and Bree's like, "What's wrong, babe?" And I'm like, "I fucking don't care. Fuck me up." Like, I'm just still jittery. Like, I'm just like, maybe I'm still in space. I don't know, but
You were released. You're that light, man. It's just when you have that much on you and it's off you, it is. You almost feel like you're just not tethered anymore to anything. You're like me. I'm an air sign, so I'm always up there, man. So you're in my face, you know.
oh yeah, MySpace.
Yeah.
Just kidding. But it made me think when you were talking about the cellular level
Yeah.
and the way the sounds are, it took a couple days for my body
Readjust.
to readjust or shed some of that old.
Absolutely.
I did have some unique bowel. I was kidding. I had a bowel movement and I looked down and it said Reiki. And I said, "Fuck, that shit worked."
Well, it's just when you've got things kind of blocking those chakras and they start working again and they start communicating with the other chakras that I'm now working, and the other ones are kind of relieved of that energy and that stress that they were trying to, because chakras love each other. So they try to take care of one another when one's down. They send in, the army and try to help you out. But that's kind of what it is. It's just, you're right. You're repairing over time. You're not going to walk out. And I think that's glad you brought that up so I can kind of clear that up. You're not going to kind of walk out like, oh, you're going to feel really good, but it's going to stick with you for some time. Like the healing is going to continue with you over days. And the great thing is too, is people are trying to throw more attachments and stuff at you. You're at your hardest, shield at that moment. That stuff's going to wash right away because you are fired up right now. Everything's working. You're on full, your body, which is that machine that is awesome that brought us here.
Right.
It's finally functioning at its optimum level. And yeah, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna
Yeah.
feel it.
Well, our first conversation we ever had about it, you said, you might not feel it now,
Yes.
but that energy is going to hit you soon.
Yep.
Might be tomorrow, might be 48 hours, or whatever. I was like, oh, okay.
You're right.
And once again, you were right, correct. I mean, it's just I don't know how to put it into words. I really don't. It's something that you just got to experience. Maybe go once or twice, because that first time you're really not into it.
Right, you're still reserved.
You're reserved. You are a skeptic. You're holding back.
Yeah.
And that's what maybe go the first time. Like, okay, Kara's cool. She's not gonna kill me. I can relax. Then go the second time, zen out, see some fucking aliens, and I'm telling you, it's gonna be great.
It really is. And you're right. It's just because you're treating yourself spiritually, and we forget about that so much, right? We know that when we get sick, we got to see a doctor, take some Tylenol, take some Sudafed. We know allergies. We know that. As you're ghost hunting, you're taking on so much, trying to find the evidence and trying to find the support that it's coming on you at that too. So you're not fully aware of how much it's hurting you spiritually there too. So yeah, when you start to take care of yourself in all those levels, it's a whole new wellness. It's a whole new well-being. It's a whole new life, brighter colors. I mean, you're seeing all these things and you haven't eaten a mushroom, you're virtually
That
real.
needs to be on a t-shirt. You're seeing all these things, but you haven't eaten a mushroom.
Reiki.
That's your next t-shirt right there. Holy shit. But I mean, it's true. Think about it. Like, I mean, look, you're in the Catholic faith. You go to church, and you often go to confession, or you go in and do a prayer session, to make yourself feel better, get one with God, like to ease yourself, whatever burdens or bad things you have committed.
Yeah.
You know, you go to this church to do that. You know, you go to the doctor to get medicine. You, go to the masseuse
Mhm.
to get a massage. You go get a pedicure. Pedicure is pulling out toxins through your body, through your feet,
Absolutely.
and then making your toes nice and smooth and shiny.
Yeah.
Look, I'm a man and I love fucking pedicures.
Get those white. Yeah, they're nice. They're really good.
If they tell you hot wax, get the hot wax.
For stones, I like the stones.
I didn't realize they did pedicures on hobbits.
Oh,
Look,
no.
it's just my pinky toe. The rest are normal.
And now we know something we didn't really want to know.
The more you know, episode
The
109.
more you know.
Trivia from 109.
But you know, people should. People, you know, spiritual side, energy wise, they should. They should, you know, and I guess that is our job to start pushing it out because
Yeah.
a lot of people don't know about this stuff.
Right.
You know, I would probably say that more women would be apt,
Yep.
you know. Would you do it?
Would I do a Reiki session?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Why
Awesome.
wouldn't
Awesome.
I don't know.
Wow.
Because you're fucking weird.
Awesome.
I have no reservations about that at all. I think it'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think
I've never heard anything negative come out of a Reiki session.
no, I did have one, I've had one client who said, for a while it felt really dark there. And I said, yeah, and I'll be honest, I don't always say all the things that happen during it because sometimes it's just better not to know. And so I said, yeah, we're just not talking about that part, and I go, do you know, I refocused her, and then how did it feel right after that moment? She's like, oh, so much better. I said, exactly. And that's a gal from a location that I talked to you about that is just thick with things, and I'm like, go home, camper, put your barriers down. But she did. She's like there for a moment, and it was because they were holding on. They sometimes want to hold on so tight because you're just a good source of food.
Well, again, this ties into, when people, you're like, hey, I got a couple tickets to go investigate somewhere. Somebody goes, well, I don't want to go there.
Yep.
I don't want to pick up an attachment. So I don't want to bring that home.
Yep.
And you're like, you just give them that look like, are you serious? Like, don't go to Walmart, don't go to the bank, don't go to the gas
I
station.
know, right? They're everywhere.
Ghosts are
They're
everywhere.
everywhere.
But in the paranormal side, we're so fixated of going to these old jails and old asylums and hospitals because the fear factor, the scare factor. We're walking into very chaotic,
Yes.
very negative energy at the
Yes.
time, and it's a very low vibrational stuff. And you're just walking around nonchalantly, just absorbing it.
Totally. And it sucks too because energy attracts to energy, right? Like to like. So you almost have to lower yours to be able to get the responses you guys are looking for on the devices to prove it.
Right.
Because if you buzzed high in there and you're literally like me, little butterfly everywhere, a little fairy,
Yeah, she's running around. I ain't getting no demons. I
they're
ain't
gonna,
getting no
they're
demons.
gonna be like, oh my God, she's too much. And they're gonna shy away and run away from me, because I'm just too much, which is awesome for me. But when you're trying to capture moments that are not like that, it's gonna suck. So even with me, I kind of have to, like, if I really want to talk and draw things near, like, because again, I will automatically feel out with my feelers. This is kind of the place not to go because by pure, growing up childhood, I was taught to kind of feel out where not to enter. And so that's why I'm automatically like, okay, this is spot, this is spot, this is spot, because I'm already like, don't go there. But for me to go in and kind of interact, I kind of have to bring myself down. I can almost feel me moving slower, if that makes sense. Right. I don't feel my flittery hummingbird wings. I feel me slowing down and getting more buzz, low hum.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we talk about all the time, like, dropped her baby. She's talking about, the vibrations. If you want to have a good experience investigating, raise the vibration.
Mhm.
If you are truly trying to find that something negative, then have at it.
Yeah.
Lower the vibrations. Good luck, hope you can figure out how to deal with the aftermath,
Truly.
because most people don't. That's what's sad, maybe said person picked up a nasty attachment and it's changing their personality. And because you're not open minded to it, next thing you know, you're getting a divorce and you lost your job and
Oh yeah,
life is shit.
totally. It can really get you that way. And that's
Yeah.
the sad part about it.
Shit just comes out of anywhere, So why not just, hey, check all the boxes? Why not? You got nothing to lose here,
Like,
people.
you don't play in the
Nothing to
rain
lose.
without raincoats, right? Treat it like you're going, on a first date, you don't. You check the boxes, bring the protection. You do those things, right?
I'm seeing things and I didn't even take the mushrooms.
Reiki.
One thing that you brought up, and I'll talk about it a little bit. But talked about something I need to do moving forward.
Yes. Your
And,
message, huh?
Focusing more on the positive, more on the light aspect of what I do on a daily basis with the paranormal. And, the divine aspect is coming into it. And I've always felt it pulling. Like, bro, and I'm like, no, not
Yep.
right now. But I think it's time. So, we're going to be focused on going forward, more positive things in the paranormal, shedding light on that. Not really shedding light. I'm going to take it and I'm going to set it down and I'm going to put it in front of all your fucking faces and I'm just going to shove it
Good.
in your face.
That's what it wants.
That's what we're going to do from now on. And I'm excited because I felt the paranormal is where I belong.
Mhm.
And I knew there's something big I need to do in the paranormal. And I just couldn't quite figure it out. You're doing the things that,
Right.
and you're like, well, I don't understand. Like,
Right.
you're being held back for a reason.
Right.
And I think this is it. And it was mind blowing, eye opening that you were like, look, dude. They said it. It's on the paper. You have to do it.
The handwriting changed. Look how that handwriting changed.
And I said, yes, ma'am.
They do. They really do.
But this is my whole point. I've had 2 sessions with Kara, and both sessions are life changing.
It's awesome here. And it's not me, guys. I'm just again clear. This
No,
is
it's not. See, you're the healer. You're
I'm
the
just-
person that puts the person down on the pillow and just smacks their face and says, "Wake the fuck up." But no, I mean seriously, the first one, did it start kind of negative? And we like, no, not really. I mean, that was more of the universe saying, "Hey, Kara."
Yeah. Yeah.
But the second one, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So-
Even that first one, I called out some things, and you were like, "Ah," and I didn't realize how much I had called out until like 3 days later, and I was like, "Oh," because you were so quiet, because you're still very reserved, and I appreciate that, right? You were being authentically you,
Right.
and then and that second one, you took it. I love that you did okay. So Kara's saying this not because Kara's just speaking out her ass. Kara's saying it because literally somebody put this in front of her to say.
Yeah, and I mean, it made a light bulb go off in my head. I'm like, holy shit, this makes sense, And then next 24 to 48 hours, you're running through that in your head like it makes sense. But what do I do? What do I
Right.
do?
How?
How do I do it?
How?
do I do it?
Mhm.
Then ideas start popping in your head. Next thing you know, you're working on
A plan.
a plan.
A freaking plan of action. And again, you have to take me with you on some of this. This was my only stipulation, right? The ego came in on this one, guys. Won't lie. I am human. I said I gotta go. I have to see it.
You would definitely, yes. But can't speak more on it. I wish I could. You're just gonna, this is gonna be a project that less than 10 people are gonna know about it. And nobody else is gonna know about it until we launch it. So this is gonna be a game changer.
Totally. 100%.
So
You're the right people for it.
you awake over there, dude? You're
He's on
muted.
mute. It's
You were
classic.
sleeping. You're
Zoom.
muted.
Zoom. He's still muted.
Hey, YouTube, do you see how he's muted?
Oh, I guess I was. So I wasn't sleeping. I was reading YouTube comments and writing stuff down, you D-bag.
Oh,
What do we got on YouTube before we hit to these very famous questions?
Just a few comments here talking about Bree actually said she thinks everyone should have a Reiki session. It's definitely eye-opening. She said she hates going to the stores now that she's opened up because it's so overwhelming at times. Lots of negative energy at Walmart. Never seen a place with more miserable people.
oh
And that's
shit.
true. You can feel that energy, even if you're not like a master in doing that. You can feel the vibe.
I like to go to the frozen section and get the frozen rolls, open them up, just start chucking them at people.
Pop out of the
we should
toilet
make a day of that sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See who gets arrested first.
Yeah,
Fuck it, why not?
it sounds like a win-win to me. It's worth it, in my opinion. Yeah, Bree said he's salty about the project and laughed. You'll have to ask her what that means. That's
Oh, that means.
stop being salty, you salty bastard.
Uh-oh.
But that's all I got from YouTube. We got 10 people watching with us today,
That's
but
it?
yeah, I think it's the eclipse. People aren't wanting to talk today. Adam Stone did say about the mushroom shirt that you were talking about. He said, I'll create the shirt and have it out by Monday. So
Dude,
No shit.
totally. Please, let me send you my logo. Let's really get this.
how can we go about getting a session? Lives in Pennsylvania. Well, Adam, I think you'll have to not be in Pennsylvania. Unless you can do it on Zoom, I suppose, but I don't know. For
Yeah,
a first one, might be better to do in person, maybe.
you could do Zoom, you could do whatever. Great thing is Reiki is, again, it's endless, it's boundless. It's not bound by time, space, or dimension. It crosses all things, all time, all space. So my website, mysticsplendor.com, is where you can go and sign up for Reiki sessions.
There you go, Adam.
Homepage has a form right there, first button, or if you want to go in and look at packages, because I've tried to make it feel a little like a spa, like certain things you want to focus on. So I try to think of all things for you. And if you see something I haven't thought of, I love ideas. Shoot them my way.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah.
So you ready for the 3 most famous questions in podcast history?
Okay.
Buckle up.
Good luck. Thank you, Sean.
Now, before you hyperventilate, we do have listeners in 40 countries around the world.
Okay.
So
I only speak one language. So.
tell all our listeners one interesting or weird fact that most people won't know about you.
Well, it's kind of out there, but it isn't. I fire dance too. So not only do I do holy fire in the hands, I literally put fire on sticks and staffs and swords and
I've
stuff.
seen
And
it.
I get down with the fire, man, and it's awesome. And yeah, it's been the most empowering thing that I have come across personally, right? For my flow and my divine, opening. And I started that last year. It's like midlife crisis, right? You turn 40 and you start these things, right?
Turned 40 and my body shut down.
Mine said, get out off your ass and go play with fire. So I know my weirdness is really out there, guys. So there's really not a whole lot is kept in closed books.
Let's see if I can reword these questions, because the original question is, all of us paranormal investigators are really quirky about our food,
Yeah.
our dinners, this or that. So, what do you eat or drink before you're getting in to do a healing session?
Oh, awesome. Great question. A shit ton of water. If I feel like this person has a lot of safety concerns, grounding, red meat and nuts, because that is just, again, that's grounding food, lower vibrational to bring me down to them. But I really like to stick with water and fruits when I can, high vibrational. The sugar and the fruits definitely helps keep me going a little bit, because I'll tell you what, I can zen right out with you guys. I can zen right in there with you.
You just imagine you're laying there,
I could go.
zoning out, and all of a sudden you just feel a head just lay on your chest, like,
Oh, I
are you
mean,
awake?
yeah. I mean, I sometimes I
Does
can
this
see
cost
some of those
extra?
visuals with y'all, and I'm just, Bree, she's got some really cool spirit animals. I'll let her tell her story one day, but I could sit and watch that for freaking ever. I mean, like, it's so cool. But
Of
yeah,
course.
yeah.
Free of the drag.
Oh yeah. Okay, so yeah, she's got a fucking dragon. Like,
Of course.
who the hell has a dragon? Like, I have yet to meet another one, and I got to see it twice. Gratefully, again, I'm an airhead, so I don't remember sessions when I revisit people, which is awesome, right? Because then I get to see the like factors. Got to see this thing all over again. I get to watch him wake up. I love it because he wakes up and then he kind of watches me and then he follows me, and it's like then we work together, and I'm like, this is so fucking cool. I have a dragon helping. So awesome.
Bree's got all the cool stuff.
She really does. She really does. It's pretty cool. So yeah, just anything. It depends on what I feel coming in, and I'll try to match the food. But water keeps everything flowing, and that's what I always try to tell you guys too, to drink plenty before and after.
Well, that's pretty good. I mean, consider if you drink all that water, typically a person's at your house about 2 hours. You never left to go pee.
Yeah, no, it literally flows out. It's coming out. It's yeah. Oh, but after you guys leave, yeah, I'm in the bathroom for a minute. Freaking dogs, get out of the way.
But back in the day when you used to investigate,
Yeah.
did you have any weird snacks that you had to have?
I'm a big Twizzlers fan, man. Twizzlers are my go-to. It calms me. It centers me. I love having it just one hanging out the mouth. Cheering on it.
Right on, right on. All right. So the third question would be: you had one night, one investigation. You're only allowed to take 3 pieces of equipment.
Oh, okay.
But let's change this because you don't really investigate.
No.
You had to pick 3 metaphysical items to take with you. If somebody said taking you on an investigation, because I see you have all these bracelets, you have all the necklaces and this or that. You're only allowed 3 pieces.
Okay.
Of metaphysical stuff.
Okay.
What would you take?
Black tourmaline. It is awesome at repelling energy. It's black obsidian is really good, but for me, black tourmaline just really does it. So I definitely take some of that. Holy water, because I might get thirsty and I might want to baptize myself. You know what I mean?
All right. All right.
I might want to drink it. It's never a bad idea to have some of that stuff around. I mean, it's a great thing.
He said, she's in the basement. She's like, oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh,
Coming at me. Gotta take a drink. I'm good now.
Brings out the demons from the inside. Yeah, I wonder if that would
You know?
work with Taco Bell and you, Nick.
And you guys have
You
never
can just
thought
follow
about that.
them.
I've never watched y'all try that aspect, right? I see you throw it away from you. Drink some of it. Don't put it inside.
that is, that's a good point.
Right? Put some inside. My third one is, and I used to take it with me back in my day, was my Tiger Eye rosary.
Okay.
And it was blessed by the Pope prior to this one. And I forget the name right now because, again, I'm an arrogant. It was the one that quit. Yes, it was. But it was from the Vatican itself.
Pope Benedict.
Yeah, yeah. But I loved it because it was tiger's eye. And for the Catholic to use, a stone that's known for protection and, courage and a rosary, I was like, sign me up for that bad boy. And for that one, I would always take with. It also feels really good. It's a good little fidget toy as well.
Let's clear one thing up, and you probably word this a lot better than I will. when you said the black tourmaline, it
Mhm.
repels
Yes,
negative
energy.
energy.
Yes.
Say that one more time.
So black tourmaline repels negative energy. So it's like a Rain-X. So just when you wear it on your right side's like pushing away from you or down the middle. It's literally like Rain-X with negative energy. It's gonna make it wash right off of you.
Now, what she's referring to, and I'll see if she'll back me up on this, is if you're walking through or going through a place that has a lot of negative charged energy, it is going to repel that.
Mhm.
Now, if there's said ghost really wants to touch you, he's going to touch you.
Yeah, because it's not negative, because it's not bad. If the energy is not will or ill intent or bad or anything, it's not programmed in that stone. It's not matching that vibration of the stone to repel and defend against. It's going to let it touch you, yeah, because it's not meaning to hurt you.
So cleared that one.
It's funny how these things work. Now, if you tell the stone, you can also tell the stone, I want nothing to touch me. So anytime I put you on, nothing's allowed to touch me, no matter what it is, unless I give it. Then you're programming it to go a little extra.
But I talk about more science.
Mhm.
We want that ghost love action.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You want it to, and really, let's be straight. I tell you this to you too. These are just talismans. The power is in you.
Right.
You don't need it. You can say straight up, "Don't touch me," and none's gonna touch you. Stay off my nuts. It's gonna stay off your nuts. But if you say, "Hey, I only want like vibrational individuals to come into my field," that's enough power too. And then yeah, you might get some touches.
I would also add, and talked about this a little bit. The other aspect you go if you do want to carry some type of stones or bracelets or necklaces or something, your first line of defense is your spirit guides. Spirit guides. Don't sit there and be like, Saint Michael, come save me. Jesus, come save me. Jesus is a little busy. Saint Michael probably a little busy. So call your spirit guides because they're the ones hanging out with you. They're right there. They can see that you what you can. So spirit guides.
Definitely call on them, and if they need more, you can call on more, or they will bring them in for you. No, they are there to help you whenever you need. They're just waiting for you to say it.
Look like you have something to say. Sean.
No, I'm just watching the debate here in the YouTube comments between Bree and Adam Stone over
Woo!
which dragon is better and how to train your dragon.
Toothless. I got it back, Bree. Toothless.
That's what Bree named the dragon that
Yep.
we were talking about earlier. So
Yep.
it's entertaining.
Yep. It's cool though.
So, guys, seriously, if you get a chance, mysticsplendor.com.
Yep.
Okay.
.com.
Mystic Splendor. Hotels.com. Check it out. Book a session. I promise you. It's worth it. Now, in a rare case, somebody might not. I mean, I know I went through 4 other Reiki sessions before I was really convinced coming to you. So try it. Try it once. I'd recommend twice because seriously, most people are concerned.
Yeah. Oh no, true.
And then they're gonna walk away like, "Gosh, like it was personally your fault." But check it out. Book a session. We'll help spread the word
Appreciate it.
on all our social media platforms. I did add you on TikTok.
Yay!
Finally.
Yay!
So
See all the fire dancing.
I will definitely help share it out. And thank you. Thank you for what you're doing and personally helping me out in my life. And we'll see what the future holds. And we've got some divine butt kicking to
Oh, it is gonna be great.
do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so stoked for that. Like, yes. That's all there is. Yes. And thank you for having me and giving me an opportunity to speak and guiding me, because I can't do this by myself, guys. I really need a conversation like this to bring it out of me.
And if you guys, please, if you book a session and you listen to the podcast, let us know what you think. shoot us a message, and I'd be interested. To, I mean, obviously, don't tell me all your personal stuff. That's a little bit too much. Just
And we keep it confident between me and you, so.
she's like a fucking lawyer, man. Just no budget.
Lawyer, doctor. It's HIPAA. It's all HIPAA covered.
Yes, there is like a medical form to fill out and everything.
Absolutely.
So, cool. Kara, thank you so much for coming on. I hope we didn't. I hope your bowels are still okay right now. So yeah, look forward to the next few weeks. It could get really interesting here on the podcast. You know how we.
Oh yeah.
Some people we won't back down. So, but next week will be fun. Bump of the Night Society. Jen and Sean will be on. We're going to talk about Spectrums of the Spring, the event they're holding at the end of the month on April 27th. Look forward to that. We'll be speaking there, so please come out and you can sit there and troll me in the audience and see how bad I fuck up.
Man, that's worth the price of admission.
That
right
is.
there.
I mean, that's worth the trip. I mean, plus Pittsburgh's a cool last time.
Oh yeah, it is.
So, yeah, guys, look forward to it. I don't know. Like I said at the beginning of the show, last week's episode is going to continue. It's going to get more interesting. I look forward to it. And maybe after all this is said and done, maybe we can shed some light, get this whole situation to go away.
Put some Reiki to
Maybe.
it.
If not, I'll just send Kara after.
Exactly. Send some light and love after.
All right, guys, from all over the world to our little town in Fort Wayne. I'm glad you
Hey,
made
one
it through
thing-
the.
One
What?
thing we forgot completely to mention.
What?
In the event you guys are interested, maybe we'll talk more about this next week. Jason Hawes video is up of
Yeah.
Cody and Satori doing their what the people are calling the Sakoti method. No socks, no shoes, wooden floor, also in seated position, doing their method to and Jason Hawes put it out there. He basically summed it up and said, "Hey, I'd be remiss to not do anything with her being my daughter, yada, yada. Here's the video, analyze it, do your thing." And so now it's out there. So you can find it on YouTube, Jason Hawes YouTube, and go watch it.
360-degree view camera.
Yeah, which is kind of weird, but
It is
So-
weird to watch, but I'm glad they did that so you can see
Yeah.
all the
you
ways
can
in the
see
room,
everything going on. Yeah.
see everything. It's very interesting. I know there's still going to be some naysayers. I
Of
did
course.
watch it, but kudos to Cody and Satori standing up for themselves and believing in themselves and putting that video out. And again, if that was somebody coming after my daughter, I'd be more of a pit bull than Jason's been.
Yeah.
But I get
Yeah.
where he's at on this whole thing. He's kind of have to be PC, but no, yeah, we totally forgot about that shit.
Well, because of you,
Yeah.
Nick, I got the opportunity to meet, Satori and Cody.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Oh,
And
yeah,
as
they're
an
awesome.
energy healer, I'm just going to throw this out there. Makes perfect fucking sense. If you look back at the old Greek sayings of one body, two heads at one point, God's got jealous, separated us. It makes perfect sense that why when they connect, they are able to do this.
Right.
Like she said, man, this feels like a 3 a.m. drunk conversation when I brought it up to her, which was great. But I mean, when you look at it energetically, it all makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
good for them. And I believe them 100%.
Oh,
we're-
100%.
Always.
I have no doubt. I've seen it.
I've
We're-
seen it and felt it.
I didn't watch the whole thing at the Bell. I walked in a little bit of it. Sean stayed from when they did it at the Bell. I mean, regardless of that, I like them individually.
Mhm.
I think they're
Yep.
they're good people. So we're huge fans of Cody Satori. So we're gonna
Back them
back them
100%. No, they're
Yeah,
good
so sometime this week, Nick, give that a watch, and we'll talk about it next week, maybe.
I did watch it.
Oh, you did watch it.
Homework done.
But we'll talk about it next week anyway.
Okay, deal. Till next time. All right, YouTube. We appreciate you. Make sure if you are watching, hit that subscribe button. Help us share out that YouTube channel, people. That's why we're doing this, giving you a little shot, behind the scenes, before and after, hanging out. Yeah, we just appreciate it. So subscribe, share out the YouTube channel, and we'll see you later.